Bore da. Hello, hello. Got a new way to say hello today. This is in a language called Punjabi, and it comes from India, a country called India. And to say hello in Punjabi from India, you say Namaste. Can you say that? Namaste just means hello. So days of the week, let's have a think. We've got a new week starting today. Yesterday was Sunday, so we're starting a new week. Let's do the song and listen for what comes first. Barod, e, die, tree. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, each day different and every day new. What was the first one? Monday, Monday. Dithlin. Got a little song in my head. Dithlin, I think. Should have checked that probably. Okay, should my tywydd heddiw? Oh, mine. Hi, log. What was it? Remember now? What is the weather today? I think that's right. I'll keep practicing that, won't I? Okay, let's do a spoon song. I've made a new spoon. You'll see why in a little bit. We do know this one and I like it. So can you see what that is? Focus in there, so. It's a teapot. So what do you think the rhyme could be? I'm a little teapot. Okay, I'm not going to stand up for it. I would normally. You can if you like, because it's easier at the end. But I'm going to stay here so Sam don't shout at me. So you're going to need a handle and a spout. We got that? Just like on mine, look. There's a handle. And that's the spout. That's where you pour the tea out of. So you have to hold the handle and tip it up when it's ready. Here we go. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. When the tea is ready, hear me shout. Tip me up and pour me out. Did you pour? Bend over. I don't want to go too far, you won't be able to see me. Yeah? I'm a little teapot. I've picked that one specially. Now, we're going to need it again in a minute. I might forget, but we can use it again in a minute because we've got a new letter this week. Okay. First thing to do, just put my spoon down. In my bag today, which I borrowed from Sam, it's the bag for his screen that we're using to reflect the light. I've got some pictures of things, and all these things begin with our sound for this week. But just to confuse you, why are you chewing my spoon? Don't pretend like you weren't. Naughty girl. What's she like? So they all begin with the letter that we're doing this week. But this letter is one of those tricky ones because it can make two sounds, okay? You remember like a could also say a? Well, this is another one like that. It can say two sounds. So let's have a look. You'll listen and hear those two different sounds when I show you these words. Now, I wonder if you know what this is. You know what that is? Oh, somebody said lizard. And they're not wrong, but it's not its right name. It's an iguana. Like a spiky lizard. Say that word. Iguana. Iguana. Now the first sound when you say that word is like this. I. I. Can you hear it? It's quite a wide sound with your mouth. I. Iguana. Starts with I, I, I. Okay. Get that back in the mouth. I tell you what. I didn't have two things to sort them into. I'll put them on my knee. So iguana's going to go on that side because it starts with it. Now this one starts with the same letter, but listen, it sounds different. Ice cream. Say it. Ice cream. Now when you say that word, it starts with this sound. I. Can you hear it? Ice cream. Now, the letter that we write for that I sound is the same as we write for I. So this letter that we're going to learn this week starts with, says either I or I, just to confuse us. So that's an I one, but it still starts with the same looking letter. I wonder if you know what this is. Children long, long ago would have known what this was, but I don't know if you do. Ink. Ink. And a long time ago, when your great-great-grandmas were in school and granddads, they would have done their writing with a special pen that didn't have ink inside it. You had to dip it into a jar of ink like this when you wanted to do your writing. This is blue ink, look. You dip it in and then you do your writing. Okay, so that's ink. Ink. So that's like iguana, isn't it? It starts with an I sound. So I'm going to put that with an iguana. Look at this one. You know what this is. It's an iron. I'm making your clothes nice and smooth. Iron. Listen. Iron. Now this one's got an I sound, doesn't it? Like ice cream. Iron. Yeah, can you hear that sound? I'll put that one with ice cream because it's got an I sound. Oh, quite a few things on this picture. They're all insects. You say that word? Insects. Insects. That starts with that I sound, like iguana. And ink. Insects. So I'm going to put that on the I pile. One more. Now they've drawn those funny marks because this is somebody having a good idea. Like you have all the time. Idea. Say that word. Idea. Now that's starting with an I, isn't it? It's not an idea. We don't say if that one. We say I. But it's going to be the same letter, just to confuse us. Idea. So I'm going to put that with iron, ice cream, and then the other way to say this letter is I. So we've got insects. Remember that one? Ink. And remember that one? Iguana. Iguana. Spiky lizard. Iguana. So all those words start with the same letter. Now we're going to look at that letter a bit more. Put those down there. On Wednesday. We're not going to worry about the shape of the letter today. We're just listening to the sound. Okay. Oh, now I know what I wanted to say. I'm a little teapot. Starts with I, because you're talking about yourself if you're a teapot. I'm a little teapot. So that could go with the I things, couldn't it? See how I'm thinking now? Also, we learned to say hello, namaste, from a country called India. India. See, I think it's planned. So your first job for today, Pep's having a moan, is have a look around your house, do that collection thing, listen to what the words of things are and see if they start with an I or an I. Okay, grown-ups, let them have a little think. Don't ask, don't tell, okay? See if they can hear it. I or I or I. So that's your first job. Now, second job, got a story. Well, it's not exactly a story. It's a book to make you think. And it's got an I word in the title. Would you like to see? It's called Just Imagine. Imagine starts with I. Now this is quite a hard book to show you on camera because it's got lots of things happening in these pictures. There's quite a lot of little things in there you've got to look hard at. You know, like our dinosaur counting book in nursery, those pictures where there's loads of things going on, a bit like Where's Wally. It's a bit like that, but I'm going to do my best, okay? Just imagine. And then we've got a job related to this afterwards, okay? So this is to get you thinking, yeah? Just imagine. And Nick Sharratt wrote this, and Nick Sharratt's written a lot of the books that we like. the supermarket one, and Don't Put Your Finger in the Jelly Nelly, and Ketchup on Your Cornflakes. They're all Nick Sharratt books, so we like Nick Sharratt, don't we? Imagine, just imagine. Can you imagine being big? And Sam's going to try really hard so you can see all those people being really big. So if you were really big, aeroplanes would look tiny. You'd be higher than aeroplanes, wouldn't you? There'd be lots of things that would look different if you were very big. I can't see any of them, so I can't really talk about them at the minute, but imagine being that big. Let me have a look now. So, oh, your tears, if you were that big, your tears would be like a giant rainstorm falling on somebody. You might have to sleep in a great big tent. You could cuddle an elephant like it was a little toy. You could step over rivers. If you sneezed, it would make the trees blow away. You'd have to take a bath in a swimming pool. Lots of things would happen if you were big. Or would you like to be small? Have a look at some of those things. So you could drink out of a sewing thimble and wear a flower as a hat. And go to sleep in a matchbox. Imagine if you were that small. Could swim in a teacup. Yeah, look at all those things. Ride on a mouse. Go in somebody's pocket. Uh-oh, you might fall down a plug hole though, so that won't be very good, will it? And hide under a toadstool. Fab. Oh, you could live in a doll's house. Imagine. So we're using that bit of our brain, aren't we? To think about things that are not real, but we can make them real in our head by imagining. Imagine being made differently. Not really human at all. Or perhaps you'd be a flower or an animal. Yeah? A snowman. Imagine if you were a snowman, not a human. A snowman or a fairy. Or a centaur, half man, half horse. Imagine in your head. Imagine if you were a ghost or a robot. Actually, I think he's made from Lego. He's a Lego man. A statue, oh no, birds might put on your head, one like that. Or a piece of cheese. Hang on, I'm going to skip a couple of pages because you don't really need to see all these. Imagine being an animal living in the wild. I wonder which animal you'd want to be. Can you imagine what it would be like if you were an elephant or a rhino or a giraffe? A wild animal living out somewhere wild where nobody looks after you. You have to do it yourself. Imagine that. Being a spider. Make people scream. Or a gorilla. An ostrich. Or perhaps you'd rather be a pet belonging to some child. So these are animals that are looked after, aren't they, in houses or on farms. So a cat, imagine if you were a cat. Imagine if you were a dog. What would that be like? Perhaps if you were a horse living in a stable. Or a fish in a bowl. Imagine what that would be like. Imagine flying in the sky or living in the sea. So imagine if you could fly a plane or a helicopter, or if you were a bird, or if you lived in the sea like the whales and the fish, or perhaps a submarine. Imagine what that would feel like. Now, this is the job we're going to do. It says close your eyes and dream yourself however you'd most like to be. So this is where we're going to imagine. Now there's some pictures here to give you ideas. So perhaps you might imagine yourself as a mermaid, or riding a motorbike, or being a monkey, or working in an ice cream factory, yum, yum. Or a cave person, or a butterfly, or you could be a genie in a lamp, or a footballer, or a car that's a submarine, or go back to see dinosaurs, or be a dog working in a bone factory. I mean, nice, wouldn't it? A chimney sweep, or somebody flying a helicopter past cheese. That's a weird one. But imagining really means you're going to think for yourself. You're not going to copy something, because imagining means a new idea that comes from your head. So you could imagine yourself as something. What would you be? You could be anything at all. I'm going to put that picture away a minute. Okay, because I want you to imagine. Now, not remember. I want you to imagine. Sorry, Peppa. Imagine if you could be anything at all, what would you be? That's a big thing, isn't it? So what I want you to do, I want you to close your eyes, not yet, when it's time to do the job. Close your eyes and imagine what you would like to be if you could be anything at all, something really interesting that's going to be good fun or really interesting. And then I want you to do a drawing of that. Okay, just like Nick Sharratt did. Do a careful drawing to show what you would like to be. I want to be able to see you clearly. Okay, think about what you've got. But you might have to look different if you're being something unusual from your imagination. So you'll have to add on things that you need in your picture to tell me what it is. Yeah. Draw it carefully. You can put colours on it if you like. But don't cover your drawings up by putting colours on top too much, because sometimes you can't see as much. And then we're going to write a sentence. So your sentence could be, I could be, and whatever it is. So I could be an elephant. I could be a fairy. I could be a princess. Something that you're not really, but you would like to be, because it would be interesting. So think about, first of all, what your sentence is going to be, what you're going to say about your picture. And grown-ups, all you need to do is to get them to speak their sentence first to make sure it's a full sentence. So if you're going to be an elephant, I don't just want you to say elephant. I want you to say, I would like to be an elephant, or I could be an elephant. That's a full sentence. So grown-ups, all you need to do is make sure that they're speaking it as a sentence. And then children, I'd like you to do your own writing, okay, to write down your sentence. And don't forget, when you've written it, you need to read it back, and it needs to say the same thing. It shouldn't change in the middle. If you started off as I would like to be an elephant, when you've written it down with your picture, it shouldn't say I would like to be a submarine, because that just means you've forgotten what you said to start with. You need to keep it the same all the way through. So you're going to write it down with your writing marks, and then you're going to read it back. Now, grown-ups, it's really important you don't do this for them. Their writing marks are just as important as ours, okay? And you need to make sure you sort of respect that by not writing it in letters for them, okay? All we're asking is that they're consciously making marks for their writing. You might start to see some letters coming into it, especially the ones that we've done, or the ones from their names, and that's brilliant. If it just still looks like squiggles, if it looks like swirls, that's okay. It should be different to their picture. It should look different. But the important thing is that when they've finished and you say to them, can you read it back? What you're looking for is them pointing at their marks and saying what was in their head. That means their meaning, they've conveyed their meaning, and it's staying constant, and that's what we're looking for, okay? Don't be tempted to write it for them, please, okay? It's one sentence. You should be able to remember what they said, so you don't need to write it down anywhere else. Some children will get stressy about this. They won't want to do it. They'll say, I don't know what that looks like, okay? If they really, really won't have a go, ask them to think what it sounds what it starts with, and if they know that letter, they could just put that down for that word. Have a go with their letters that they know. Ask them to really listen. Okay, so even if they're writing elephant and all they write is e because they know that because it's in the name, that's fine. You're still looking for them to be able to read it back at the end so the meaning's constant. Okay, sorry. So that would be lovely. I'd love to see those pictures. I'm looking for careful pictures because all your drawings are getting so much better now. And have a go writing, okay, and remember what it says. Right, so that's your other job. So that's your Monday jobs, really. We've got a new letter, that's exciting. So we'll be doing some more on that this week. You've got a bit of imagining to do, imagining, and some careful drawing and writing, okay. I would like to do a shout out before we go. The jobs that I gave you on Friday. Holly Hearn, what a star. Holly is on it. Every time I give anybody a job, Holly is on it. Amazing. So on Friday, when I read you Three Little Pigs, Holly went away and found some grass, some wood and a big rock. And she investigated them with all her senses, looking at, not tasting, I don't think she tasted them, looking at them, smelling them and feeling them and listening to them. And then she described them, and her mummy wrote down the words she said and possibly gave her a few more that she didn't think of, but there they are. She wrote them down for Holly. So that's amazing. And then she was a big bad wolf then, a very beautiful big bad wolf, I have to say, in a tiara. And not at all horrible looking. And she had a really good go at trying to blow all those things in, like the big bad wolf. And there's a little film there of Holly being very good at blowing the dry grass, like the straw. So she could blow as hard as the big bad wolf on that one, but fortunately she didn't look horrible and nobody put her in a pot of boiling water, I hope. So well done, Hol. That's excellent. So that's it for today. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all feeling good. Hope you're having good fun. We've got a bit of sunshine back again, haven't we? And I'm glad to know that lots of you are watching the videos. We're not going to be able to have any more Zooms. I'm really sorry, but it's not our fault. We didn't do anything wrong. We had a lovely time, but yeah, there's been a few problems. So can't do any more Zoom lessons. So let me have a look now. Now, if you're out there, can you wave, please? There you are. Yay, fabulous. We'll have to do big waves so I know you're there. Okay, so I will see you again on Wednesday. Say bye, Pep. Peppa's gone to sleep. I don't know, it's all right for some. Okay then, bye. Bye.